What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, episode number 10 on our Acura TL Type S project. On the last episode, you see the team rebuilding the power steering system and get a subframe all cleaned up. What we got for today?
So what we got here is we have a bunch of new parts. I don't even know how much money this is on parts, but I'm glad I'm not paying the parts bill.
OEM parts.
OEM. That's
for the most part.
You know, I mean, only thing we don't have OEM is the axles. They'll work just fine. You know, something cheap. OEMs are about $350 each.
Yeah.
But we won't have any problems with that. But what we have here is, as we were taking apart the car, we found some failed parts. We saw that the intermediate shaft, or half shaft, however you want to call it, was damaged. We got a new one of those. The subframe mounts, those were damaged.
Both of them.
Yeah, we got both of those. We have new axle seals for the new axles. We have a upper transmission mount. We have the front mount, and I believe this is our rear mount. And also the axle half shaft seal, or not seal, but what's it called?
Cover.
Like a cover, like guard. That was damaged, and not that it was affecting anything, but hey, we're already in there. Might as well make it look good.
So all these parts are going back onto the car, and the agenda today is hopefully we can get everything back together and get this thing right back on the road.
Yeah, because coming up soon, we have one of our big meets, and we can't have this thing in the shop in pieces. So
That's right. That's right.
Time for some fun.
Let's get to it. I tell you what, opening new parts is always good.
You know, after working here for so long, I've become numb to it. It's just another new part. You know, it's not a CarQuest part. You know, this is the best of the best, and only the best for Brian. Brian deserves something nice.
Let's see what Miguel's doing. What you got there, Miguel?
Getting the mount put on before the subframe goes up.
Front mount?
This is front mount. So first thing we got to hook up is the vacuum assist line. Got to make sure he's got no vibration at idle. So once that's plugged in, we can bolt her down.
Alright, so John is on the process of getting the axle seal out with a special tool. Pops right out.
Alright.
So how does that go on?
So you can usually get this thing in pretty far lined up by hand. Then you just tap it in pretty even. Takes a special touch.
So what are you looking for?
I'm looking for consistency on how far it's out. And
where is it supposed to sit?
So this is supposed to sit pretty flush, the inside ring. This one here is supposed to extend out just a little bit. It's more of a dust seal for it. So this one, that's right where it's supposed to be. The problem with these is you can push them in too far and it'll touch the diff and tear it up. So you don't want to overdo it. So that right there, that's in the perfect spot. Then next we'll put the intermediate shaft on there, but first we'll do the other axle seal.
Alright, remember broken rear engine mount? That's what Miguel's doing right now. So this one don't use a vacuum line, huh, Miguel?
Yes.
Does.
Still use a vacuum line. Absolutely.
So you do this off the car.
Yes. This is actually the easiest time to change this mount. Other than that, if you have to do it in the car, it could be a little bit of a pain. You can do it, but
This is the old piece, and take a look at the new one. It's all tore out. I guess we run into a little bit of hiccup back here, huh?
yeah, we did. So the bolt that bolts the rear engine mount in, I guess at one point it got boogered up and it got a little strip. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the bracket, fix it, clean up the threads, and then she should be able to be good as new. You could see got a little damage here on the first couple threads. This is the original bolt. So John has a kit here that he's going to use to straighten out the threads. So we're just right now getting the right the pitch right, so we can find the right correct tool, and then we're going to straighten it out.
So once we get this cleaned up, then we gotta get that cleaned up.
Then we'll get this cleaned up to match. They should be a perfect fit.
So all the little pieces of aluminum that was stuck in the threads all came out, no issues. Everything's all fixed. Take a look at this. Going smooth, like new again.
We're gonna put the axles in, the only aftermarket stuff on the car. And what we're gonna do first is we're gonna get the axle, guide it into the hole here, making sure not to damage the axle seal. Once we get it right there, we take it.
Why you gotta breathe so hard?
Well, we were just fighting the one aftermarket part where we decided to be cheap and put aftermarket axles. Man, that thing kicked our butt, man.
Yeah,
That thing did not want to go in. Well, it's in now. Let's see how the other side goes. When I pull off, I'm just going to pull it out. Right. Got it? Money. All right, let's do this.
Alright, so this is the moment the subframe is going back up. Yeah, I was doing a pretty good job pumping it.
Good pumper. It's definitely one of his specialties.
A pumper.
Yeah.
So what is the technique here?
So, when we're coming up, there's a couple things we want to line up. We want to line up these bolts here with this here. We also want to line up the lower control arm with the bottom ball joint here. And then, once we get real close, we want to line this back mount up here with the subframe back here. These bolts bolt the subframe in, or the rear mount, I should say, to the subframe. So we got to coordinate a lot of things at the same time in order not to mess up.
Okay, watch that line over the rack.
All right.
Okay.
now these things are all tying up. What else do we have left here?
All we got left is our axle nuts on both sides and the J-pipe that we're going to put on, and we're pretty much done down here. We're going to leave the covers off because we're going to do a fluid level check after that, but this is home stretch.
So we're on a final stretch. John's is trying to get the shift linkage back to the transmission, and then a couple of bolts and harness, and a battery and air intake box, and should be able to crank right up.
Do some pulls.
New one and the old one.
Poopy.
Pretty much everything got put back together except the battery and the air box. But before we put everything back together, we got to do something, right?
Yeah, here's one of the most crucial things: putting fluid back into the motor. You know, some people think it's funny, but it's something you can overlook and then cause a lot of damage.
I know this car here takes a special procedure to put fluid in the transmission. It's a little different from like the B series and the K series transmission.
So B series, your fill points are on the diff in the back. So, or some people go through the speed sensor, but you know, it has an overflow. So this has 3 different ports. It has our fill point, which is right up on the top, and down low we'll show when we put the car up, we have a overflow and then we have a drain. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna crack this fill bolt loose, which is just an extension, 3/8 extension. And then we're gonna go up and take the drain bolt. It's a 10 with a little washer on it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill this till it overflows out the front. We know where we're at.
And that's it.
That's it. Money in the bank.
Oh.
Black cow.
Strong.
I try. All right, so this right here is our overflow bolt. It's just a 10 millimeter. You take it, crack it, pull her out. Make sure you don't lose the little washer that comes with it. Probably can't see with my monster hands in the way.
Thank you. So this port is where we drained the fluid originally, right?
Correct. This is the drain. This is the overflow, and we showed you the fill up on the top. So now we put an oil pan underneath, and we're gonna go up there and fill it till it overflows out of this little hole. And then we've reached our fill point. We're good. It's coming out pretty steady, but it's slowed down a bit. So now we just put the bolt back in, tighten it up, clean it up, and this thing's ready to full send. And that's it. Brian can learn how to shift. do you think, Brian?
Too easy.
What do you think?
It's good. I think we need some power steering fluid.
That's what we're doing right now.
First drive, huh?
First drive.
First drive.
That drive's so good.
Smooth.
This drive awesome.
Feels good from here. Oh, you really shift nice.
New engine mount.
Yeah. Sturdy.
Oh
Feels
yeah.
good, yeah.
Huh.
Hear that noise?
The clicking sound.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a clicking sound, like at a low speed.
We'll go over bumps.
Yeah, I hear it. What could that be?
I don't know. Something the suspension. I know everything else is tightened, so it can't be
Like
that.
it's a worn part or something that we can replace.
Yeah, it gotta be suspension. So I guess when we get back to the shop, we'll get the car back up. We'll have the boys take a look at
Okay.
it and see what it needs and go from
Can't be
there.
anything big then.
No,
Okay.
not at all. I mean, this car drives so good right now. We already put about 5 miles on it.
Yeah.
But take a look, Brian, with his brand new clutch on his
could-
Acura TL Type S.
Now, when we got this car originally, I really thought driving stick it's tough. It's my first car ever manual, and that first engagement from first gear, even the second, it was kind of a little bit of rough. Now they got a new clutch in here, 100% beautiful, smooth, easy. Probably one of the easiest cars to drive, manual transmission, from what I hear the guys back in the shop. But this is great. I'm super excited.
All we gotta do is get the car back to the shop and take a look at the suspension, about that little knocking sound over bumps, and then get a 4-wheel alignment, and we're good to go.
Yeah, man, this thing, and then send it to the paint shop.
Oh, that's when you come in.
And that's when I come in.
Can't wait for that.
That's gonna be sick.
So nice.
Too easy.
Wow, that was a great test drive with Brian. Man, I tell you what, the new clutch and all the new parts that we put in, this car drive almost like it was brand new. On the next episode, we do have to address the little issues that we experienced during our test drive. A small knocking sound when we go over bumps. Our team got to take care of that on the next episode. Hope you liked the video. If you do, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll hope to see you on the next one.